Yeah, sometimes you gotta hold on. You gotta keep going. Sometimes you have to just endure. And you have to deal with some things and tolerate some things. Being a single parent, you have to keep on moving. You have to do what you gotta do as far as like holding on to you. Um, Sometimes other people won't understand why you are like you are. You got to keep on going regardless. The family, you have to hold on and be strong on a strange land. That's the United States. As a parent, you have to keep your head up. I understand then the things the parents you had to endure and hold on about. I've learned that sometimes when you're dealing with some things about your own family, you don't really know what all your own parents had to like really deal with and stuff. You don't really get it and stuff like that until you get your own kids. And once you get your own kids, you understand that, oh, this is what mom had to deal with. To be just realistically real, some things she dealt with that she didn't always talk about. Now she held on and she refused to give up. Um, I found out that when you raise your own, you hear some of that tough love that my mom had, or the word mom that she had. You find out that they'll never be perfect, but they sure do, and it's like they understand you. They understand. I had to find out they understand you more better than like somebody else would. When I say understand, I guess it's just a bond thing, a bond thing with children and stuff like that. Just like being with a spouse, you get a man, you get your boyfriend, you get a boyfriend, you get your husband or whatever. You tolerate a lot of things, and don't nobody know but the kids in the home how mom and dad really living behind closed doors and closed windows that's shut. Nobody really knows the things you tolerate with that spouse and what you deal with that spouse. You ready, ready, ready after an argument or something. You ready to like forgive each other. You ready, ready to let it go and to go and make up for that argument and stuff. And only the kids would know that. So it's like sometimes like it's even when you have your own children and stuff, it's still the same thing. Yeah, I feel like if a woman can give time to a man that's a complete total stranger, and he's a stranger, and she can forgive him, and they done argued all night, argued the next day and stuff, and she can forgive him, so why can't she forgive her kids? That's the thing about it. Why can't she forgive them kids she had by him? If she can't forgive them kids she had by him, then what, huh? So then what? She was just wasting away her time. Why give so much more time to a man that's a stranger that turns around and walks out? And he wasn't even related. But them kids, children come straight from their parents. And if you can't give that much more time to some tolerance dealing with children, then that's something. Because why? They're actually a part of a parent, huh? So if you can't give to the realistic realness of it, that blood is blood. The man you with, the spouse, the boyfriend, the fiance, he not blood. He's just a companion. Some men, they string women along, they play games and stuff like that. They hurt women. And some men, they don't. They mean everything they say that they want to be in a relationship and will put in so much as proof. And still after years go by, they still their own self. Some men is just like bullshit, where they just ain't doing enough to help out in the relationship. And then they stealing from women so bad it's ridiculous. Then the children come. It's kind of like a an endurance thing, a thing with children and stuff. You got to forgive them, overlook them, and stuff like that, and keep going. Because why? It is for them to learn from their parents. It's for them to learn that there'll never be nobody like mom. There'll never be nobody like mom. Good understanding woman, a good listener, a friend, a strong woman that don't take shit. Bullshit. It's good to always leave something each and every day with kids that just growing up and stuff like that. What are you not going to tolerate? What you will accept? Who as a parent, to always let children know who mom really is. The thing, and another thing, you never. It seems like sometimes like the only good or the only describing thing about a God that children are going to ever really know is the God their mama described to them by the life she lives. It seems like that's always going to be with them. The only thing they're ever going to know about a God is the life the parents live individually. Their ways of doing things, handling things, going about things. That's the only God they're really ever going to know of so much. A parent can tell a child a story of either a good God or a bad and evil God. It's either a good God or a bad evil one. A realistic God or some kind of like crazy God that just ain't right. Well, it's just miss. It ain't right. But that's a parent's choice. A parent can stick to what it teaches in a home, or either it can leave away from that. But I found out the life that a parent lives, the things that it does, the way that it go about doing things around their kids. Sometimes evil gets mad, and it wants children to sometimes complicate, bring like aggravation to their parents, even if they've done so much. Some kind of evil to me that a parent may not understand. What is wrong with these kids, them children? Some kind of evil that wants to aggravate the mom. And I believe the reason why stuff like that they'll try to like go on is because of who she is. I believe that the mother tells a story to her children, the good ones, about the God they believe in. Some parents tell that The God they believe in is a good God, and that He's giving, that He's mindful and merciful, that He's a good listener, that He's strong, and He cares to their children, that He's concerned, the God they believe in. Bad women tell their children a story that the God they believe in wants to fight, hit, punch, kick, steal, rob, and do all kind of crazy shit. And that He's just down with evil. And the parent that worship a bad God or follow the bad God, they tell that to their children. But I believe it's nothing but the mother's responsibility. A mother, the definition word, the mother. I believe that it is nobody's responsibility, nobody's but a mother. I feel like either it's going to live as it talks. To talk about a great God. If a person talk about a great God, I said, well, if they're not living, telling some kind of description, showing that, of what would be His ways unto their children. Females are like teachers in the home, teachers, and don't even realize it. They have to do more teaching, popping, spanking, more talking, being a good listener, only if they choose. In their homes. It's a responsibility that's to the very, 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 very end. The responsibility goes to the gray hair, to the gray hair. Of what? Fullness. Full gray-headedness. Started off black hair. In the end, it's to the full, well, I say a full-headed individual, gray hair. Full-headed. Sometimes a person can feel alone, a black mother, a good black mother, alone, and not know that there's other people that go through things too. But to think about it, it's best to keep going, because there's no need to just give up. It's a land that's not black people's home, as far as first home. No. So plots and plans of evil have been set against black families to break them up, to separate them away from their kids, spouses to break up away from the good black women that they have to raise their kids alone without the dad in the home. It doesn't seem fair. But the thing about it is, gotta keep going. Because that's the only best thing to do, is to keep going. Nothing's funny. It's not funny. It's just survival. It's not a funny thing being a single parent, dealing with stresses after trying so much. But gotta keep going, because that's the only way to survive. That's the only way to survive, is to keep going. There is no other way but to keep going. There is and there'll never be no other way but to keep going. And I feel like at that same time, children are learning even at that time. Their mama showing strong. It's hard to break that woman. Hard, Joe. It's hard to get to that woman's life. It's hard to try to get that woman fucked up. And I believe they learn things then. And I believe then they regret. Not just, I believe they regret and just want to slow down something. Because I believe sometimes children, they want to break their parents. They want to know sometimes how far can they go to say something to try to break her. Why does she act like she is just don't respond so much? Why is she set on having a good day so much? Sometimes it's like children try to figure out their own parents. Seems like. But I believe that's the other spouse there, the dad, and I really do. But the only thing to do is to keep going. They keep going. Because the best thing about it is to complete. To complete what was started. Responsibility. Do the best and continue to go on. Teach the right things and continue to keep going. Hold on and continue to keep going. Because the main thing of it is survival. Survival as a parent. Survival. And that's the main thing, even with living upon this earth. Survival. So it's realistically real. Some things I found out some things you don't ask for. But there's some things you just gotta keep going. You gotta keep going about, as far as like, you gotta work it out. You gotta work it out. Working out something. Resolving something. As a parent. In a strong positive way. Survival is the number one thing. Peace. Trying to have a good day. Survival. So sometimes other people may not understand, but the hell with them. So if it's somebody that sees this video, so if you like the video, if it's helpful, pass the video and share the video. Yes, people that go through things with the old man, the kids, of course. What can be so perfect upon an earth? And on a land that ain't even the realistic home of the real homeland. Who can be perfect? Survival is the main thing about it. Being a parent, survival. So anyway, so this is Awesome Jag. This is a video I posted and everything. So, like the video. What's up out there? Like the video. and share the video. A single black parent. Strong. Can't help it. I really can't. I can't even help it. Well, the main thing about it is survival. After you teach all the strong positive stuff, survival. Holding on. Because I feel like every good thing that's been taught has to come back in a confirmation. And I feel like women that teach strong positive things, that are only good black women, to their kids. Nothing can be just to the ground. Nothing. So like in the black community, the black community is real shit. The black community of children and family and children of different households individually. Shit, that's real as hell. That is very real stuff. Real. From home to home. Front yard to front yard. Bus stop to bus stop. Grocery store line. Family dollar lines. At the parks. Realistic, real stuff. Well, children cut up and they act straight. I can do what I want to do. Oh no, you ain't my mama. No, you ain't telling me that today. Oh, Mom, shut the door. Mom, I don't want to hear this today. Mom, did you mess with my stuff, Mom? Why did you mess with my stuff? Mom, did you open my mail? Mom, did you eat my slush? Did you eat my stuff? Mom, have you seen my things I left? Mom. They do that shit. But it's true. Very true. Sometimes I believe children want to know how strong are their parents. What is it that can break them? Sometimes it's really sad. It's funny, it's strange. But I believe that women are the reflection of what they raise. I believe that a lot of things reflect back on the mothers. The things that children get into. The mothers and the fathers. The life they live, how they respond and act, or things that they just do. So, from school to jobs to taking care of their own children and stuff. I believe that it reflects back on both parents. Both parents. Because how in the hell can it be somebody else? Sometimes you might not know a lot about the other parent. And I believe that's what a damn surprise, like the fucking shocking shit come from. You don't know everything about that other parent. So when children acting funny and strange, you didn't know everything about that other parent. You didn't know, I didn't know so much was in that other parent like that. You expecting it to be more like more like one parent, but it's on the pull and a tug of war. That's that other parent. That's that other parent that don't like. It's a trip. It's strange. It's different. It ain't what you expected. And you have to cope with that. You have to deal with it. Like, what in the hell? What the hell? But the number one thing about it is survival. It's survival regardless. It's survival. It ain't nothing but survival. That's all it is. Sometimes men embarrass women. All the hard work, all the hard work, all the giving of hard work, all those years accumulated, and all of that dedication, and then they try. You don't know. You're dealing with the other parent. You're dealing with the other parent. The other parent. No, it's the other parent. Y'all understand where them funny ways come from in children? The other parent. It's one thing to identify oneself as an individual in a child, but it's another thing when they have some other kind of ways you ain't never been into. That's the other parent. And didn't know all that was in that person. It hid all that stuff. And that's the deep thing about it. Real deep stuff and stuff. Right? Like real deep. Some things you don't. That's right there and then get blam. It takes a little while. Okay. And you gotta cope. Ooh. Yeah, that's just survival. You gotta keep going. Survival, I would say. More than anything. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm just posting this video and stuff. Some kind of trips. Like funny stuff. Some things you deal with family. The old man, the children. Oh man. You get a headache, man. Not today, no, not today, goddamn, no. Okay. But you gotta keep going. You'll never be perfect. Just do the best to cope. Shut up. Gotta keep going. Survival, you know. So anyway, so this is Awesome Jack. Just posted my video and everything. So I'm just leaving this video. The only to me the only God the only side of a God or display of a God the children are ever gonna see, learn the most or hear about the most is when they talking to their parents and their parents' beliefs. Their parents voiced out comments, the life they parent the life that their parents lived. That's the only God they're ever gonna see. And when I said God, I mean the beliefs of the parents, the descriptive of the life, the things they do, and stuff like that. That's all they're ever gonna know. So a parent can talk about a good God, or can talk about an evil God. They can send it, but that's basically it. Cause they're gonna cleave to one or the other. One or the other. One or the other. So anyway, this is my video. Awesome Jack again, posting about surviving. So peace out.